All right, so you came back.
You're not gonna get rid of me that fast.
All right, that's what's up. I didn't think so. How you feel?
I'm good. I had soreness, a lot of soreness. So I went and saw my physical therapist, and I got some massaging technique and just some of the stuff that I have to do just because I'm going through recovery anyways. But she worked me out, so I'm ready for you again.
All right. So, what you experience is you were probably tight, stiff, feel kind of painful.
Muscle atrophy a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're waking things up that's been asleep.
Yeah.
You're doing things that you haven't been doing in a long time, right? The best thing to do is to do it again the next day.
Right.
Because oh yeah, listen, when you get sore like that, when you waking these muscles up, all it is lactic acid, really. You got to move it around. You got to get active, or it'll get worse. If you sit around after that, it gets worse. It gets more and more stiff. It may take like 5 days before it starts calming down. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to. I didn't give you this the other day. Y'all know about this. This is overtraining solution. This is powerful. This helps speed up recovery, right? Soreness, energy, all of that. It will correct that. It also boosts your immune system.
Okay.
There's an ingredient in there called emulina, which is the most effective, most powerful ingredient on the market right now for supercharging your immune system, and that's what aids in recovery. So this is important. It also helps you from not getting sick as well.
Awesome.
So
Great.
this is perfect. So we're gonna start this. You drink this after your workout with your shake.
Okay.
There's no flavor, so you can drink with water, but I just throw it in my shake.
Okay.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. Now I need to strengthen your body. Okay. I have a program I want to put you through, but we're not ready for that yet.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a lot of basic stuff to just get the muscles fired up and get the soreness all over your body, so you can work it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we only did like lower body stuff the other day. Today we're gonna do some upper and lower body. Okay. So I'll just demonstrate what we're gonna do. You're gonna do a forward and reverse lunge. So you're gonna take your time with it. Okay, nice and slow. All y'all at home, y'all try this. Do it slow if you're not used to doing it. You're not rushing through anything. You don't want shitty reps. You want quality reps, okay? So nice and slow, step forward, boom. You want to get a nice stretch in as well. Up, then backwards. Okay, that's 1. 2, go to 5, and then switch sides. And then we're gonna go right, we're gonna pick up these dumbbells. You're gonna do a standing overhead shoulder press. Just 5 reps. 1, 2, 3, so 5. Then you're gonna come down right here. Keep your hands here. You're gonna do a side delt raise, 5 reps. 1, 2, to 5. Okay. What do you give me that look for? Okay. Then you're gonna come back up here. 5 again. Back here. 5 again. Okay. And then we'll take a break. All right. There you go. Nice. Nice. Other side. Take your time. Make sure you get all, yeah, there you go. All the way down. Very good. One more. You want me one more? I need mine. 5. Excellent. Okay. Strict presses overhead. Okay. Now side bell raises. 1. Slight bend in your elbows. Just slight. 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, delt raises. 5. Okay. Now we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna give you 45-second break. And we start it back up. 6, 7, good. All right. So your question is, why am I a fan of ascension versus descension?
Most people want to descend. The further into your sets you go, you want to drop the weight.
But here's the thing, you went up, right?
Yeah.
And you did it. So if we were to go down, you would be doing yourself an injustice, right? Now, every time you're doing, everything I have you doing, I'm watching, I'm gauging you, right? If I see you having difficulty struggling with something, I'm gonna make adjustments, whether it be less reps or lower weight or a longer break, whatever. But if I see you're getting through it pretty easy, I need to make adjustments because you need to get the most out of this. It's pointless to be just coasting through a movement.
Right.
You ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the end goal in all of this is muscle failure.
Yeah.
And getting to where you can't do no more, right? So we don't do that by coasting along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's necessary sometimes to, escalate the intensity. You know what I mean?
I think the school of thought sometimes is start off with the heaviest weight.
You gotta
lowest
warm up.
rep.
You gotta warm up to that.
Okay, so then
You gotta get the muscles fired up for that. You know? If I just hopped on the bench, like my best bench press is 500 pounds. I can't just sit down and do that. I gotta touch on 225, touch on 315. I gotta ease up to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta fire the muscles up. Okay. All right, we're done with this. All right, now we're gonna do a complex for your back and hamstrings. So you're gonna, nice big chest, straight back, come all the way down. You're gonna do rows, right? Boom, elbows tight to the body. 1, 2, just 5 reps. And then you're gonna come here and straight leg, well, not straight leg, but Romanian deadlifts. So a slight bend in your knee. Keep your head straight at a neutral position. Don't look up like that. It's bad for your neck and your spine. So keep the weights close to your legs, like then they're sliding down your legs. 1, 2 for 5 reps, and then give me these again, and then 5 reps again. Okay. There you go. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rows. 5. Good. Deadlifts. You good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, take a breather. 30-second break. How's the weight feel?
challenging.
I don't know if I believe you.
Yeah. Forearms. Yeah.
Okay. It's challenging your grip.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very weak.
Down a little lower. Parallel. There you go. What's up?
Do you believe in weight belts?
Yeah, if you feel like you need it. But I believe in making the core strong to where you don't need it. Because if you always wear one, that your core will never get strong. It's a crutch. What's up, man? How you doing? So it's good to try to strengthen your back, your body, without all of that stuff. Make sense?
Yep. Okay, what if I said that in order to get through that, I gotta drop weight? I got one more set left?
Yeah.
You don't want me to? I know you don't.
All right, so listen,
And I don't
how about
want
this?
to?
Let's compromise.
Okay.
I'll give you short breaks in between, okay? but the breaks is gonna be like no more than a 3 count, and then you gotta push yourself to go back at it. But look, I understand. Just remember, this is your last set, and you have the option to take a couple breaks, but let's see what you can do as long as you can before a break, okay?
What happens if the scale hasn't budged? What can I take from that? Because I'm gonna speak for a lot of people here, that would be ridiculously discouraging.
Right.
My feelings would be hurt if the scale has not budged in a week after working out and
doing your part.
And yeah.
In life, I think we always expect that when we put in a certain amount of effort, we're going to have a certain amount of outcome. And when those two things don't align, we get frustrated.
Right.
That's a very common problem. That's why I like to use multiple pieces of information to get decisions and evaluate our success. So just a weight in isolation is not a good gauge of your results.
Right.
But the weight combined with pictures, combined with body fat check-in, combined with the evaluation score that I'm going to have you do for me. It's something that I do with clients that I work with in person, but you can all incorporate this for yourselves at home. I have you evaluate yourselves with a combination score. How many meals did you have for the week? So for your plan, we have 4 meals in place per day, or 5 meals technically, because we have the little shake that you drink when you wake up with the ritual in it.
Right.
So 5 times I need you to do something every day, like ingest something, which counts as some sort of nutritional intake.
Yeah.
5 times a day for Melyssa. That means in a week, you have 35 opportunities to either execute or not execute, right? And so missing a meal, eating something off of your plan, and I don't mean like switching up your food sources, I mean like just being like, you know what, I don't feel like eating my lunch that was scheduled, I want to eat a hamburger instead.
I want to eat
like,
pad thai,
yeah,
I want to eat fettuccine alfredo with shrimp.
Anytime you divert, that is a lack of execution on that one. I don't call it a failure, but you didn't execute, so you don't get that point.
Okay.
So you have 35 opportunities per week in regards to your meals
to
do the right thing or not do the right thing, or the optimal thing, I should say.
Okay.
So it's kind of like school, where if at the end of the week you got 35 out of 35, you got 100%. You got an A plus, A plus effort.
Yeah.
Usually that correlates with results.
Okay.
If that doesn't correlate with a change on the scale, that's where I start to think, okay, perhaps a change is needed. Maybe we need to adjust calorie intake.
Okay.
So on the other hand, you can do the same evaluation score for yourself and for yourselves with the workouts.
Okay.
If you have 6 workouts scheduled for the week, which is how Alpha Shred kind of runs, not every workout's an intense weight training workout, but there's 6 times a week where you do something active that's required of you. If you do all 6 of them, you got 100%. If you do 3 of them out of the 6, you got a 50%. You failed. Like, you know what I mean? That's not a passing score.
Right.
It's the same thing with your nutrition. If out of 35, you got 17 of the meals, you barely got a 50%. But if you got 33 or 34, which is more likely, then you did a really good job, and we can assume that you got like a A-level effort, you're going to get A-level results.
Okay.
B-level effort, you're going to get B-level results, and so on and so forth.
So I was looking through my meal plan. I feel like I'm going to be really hungry, but I digress. We'll see. And in terms of like swaps, how does one figure out, like, for me, I don't want to guess. Like, I really don't. I want to be told what to do, led by the nose through this whole process.
Yes.
I do not want to think that much.
Yes.
So in terms of, like, say for my second meal first meal, I have 200 grams of blueberries and it says 2-time carb swap. What does that translate into, like layman's terms?
That's a great question. So if you want to make a swap, I have a list that I've kind of put together for clients that I work with in person that can kind of help with that.
Okay.
But for all you guys at home and for you as well, because some things don't have a swap number listed next to them.
Right.
Anytime you want to trade something out, what I would do is I would go on myfitnesspal.com or Daily Burn or My Macros Plus. There's a ton of these different macro calculators. Plug in what's listed, and it will tell you how many grams of carbohydrates that is.
Okay.
And then you can swap that out with using a different food source that's a carb. So in this case, I wouldn't want you guys, you nor anyone at home, to take where I have programmed in fruit and put in cereal instead. If I programmed in fruit, I want you to get some micronutrients and antioxidants that are only going to be found in the nature of fruit.
Right.
So if you want to swap the blueberries out for raspberries, strawberries, mangoes, pineapples, I'm down with that.
Okay.
It's put in after your training to help replenish glycogen levels, but I also want some of these nutrients to get in your body too.
Okay.
So you plug in the blueberries into any of those macro calculators, and it will tell you how many grams of carbohydrate it is. In this case, it's roughly 20 grams of carbohydrate. And then you can instead put in raspberries or blueberries and then mess with it until you get to the point where it's 20 grams of carbohydrate.
Okay. There is no seasonings included on here. So
That's a perfect question. I'm glad you asked that, 'cause
Yeah.
It's going to come up for a lot of you guys. You're going to wonder, how
What's-
do I make my food taste good? What's allowed? What's not?
what's the, we can use this, and what is like don't go near it list? What does the don't go near it list look like
The don't go near it list for me.
for seasoning your
Yeah.
food?
Seasonings, as long as you can look at the seasoning and sugar is not one of the first few ingredients, and it might be one of the last ingredients, but as long as it's not one of the first ingredients, if you pick up your seasoning, flip it around, look at the actual ingredients, and sugar or dextrose or maltodextrin is listed. Sugar, dextrose, maltodextrin, those are all carbohydrates.
Okay, stay away from those.
If it says that anywhere near the beginning of the ingredients list, put that seasoning
And that would be
down.
more like a condiment, like
No, seasonings.
Oh,
We're only
okay.
on dry right now. We're on
Oh,
dry.
okay,
We'll
I didn't
transition
know.
to the wet seasonings
Okay,
after,
okay.
the condiments.
Okay.
The dry seasoning, if that rub or spice blend or anything like that says sugar, dextrose, maltodextrin anywhere in the beginning of the ingredients, put that bad boy down for me and move on to another
Here, I'm following the keto-based plan. I have on here that it says, sometimes it says almond butter and sometimes it says nuts specifically. Is there a difference between the two? Like,
When you have a nut butter, sometimes they are adding in sugar or other additives, but let's just say that they're not, so
Okay.
that it's plain.
Yeah.
It's completely plain, nut butter where it's just been ground up.
yeah,
In that case, there's no difference.
Okay.
I mean, it may, for some people, they have digestive issues with whole intact nuts, but they don't with the butters because they've been ground up so finely they digest a little bit easier. I do find that's the case where the butters will digest a little bit faster.
Okay.
So they provide a little bit more immediate of satiety,
Yeah.
feeling full.
Yeah.
Whereas the nuts themselves, you can munch them down pretty quickly.
Right.
But you don't feel the satisfaction as quickly. So
Yeah.
people tend to overeat nuts. You can overeat nut butter too, but it's a little bit better of a satiety curve, which means how you get full from consuming it with the nut butters. But nutritionally speaking, in terms of calorie content or fat value,
Yeah.
they're the same. So they're interchangeable. If you want to swap out 50 grams of mixed nuts for 50 grams of a nut butter or vice versa, you can do so.
So I'm also going to ask the question that I know some of you really want me to ask. I'm asking totally for myself here too. Life happens. People have birthdays. People graduate. People, get a new job, celebration. We have friends that are not on the plan with us that are going to be like, come on, just have a drink. Inside of this program, is there any room for libations, alcohol? Like any room?
There's actually
And what is it?
There's actually a lot of ways to handle consuming alcohol.
Okay.
The big thing that I want to give you guys is the 4 ways that alcohol can possibly negatively impact your results.
Okay.
And that is, number 1, the alcohol itself contains calories. Number 2, the alcohol lowers your inhibitions, so you're more likely to eat something you shouldn't.
Eating amnesia, I've had it more times than I want to
Yes.
admit.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 3, being that the alcohol makes you less likely to work out the next day. And number 4, that the alcohol impairs your body's ability to consume other calories that you may have eaten. Now, there is a social component to life. You can't get around it. And that's something I want to focus on for you guys. We don't need to overstress the importance of eating at any one event because these events never end. It's always someone's birthday, someone's in
Yeah.
town, someone graduated,
Yeah.
something fun happened that
Yeah.
is worthy of celebrating. We have to train our minds to make it to where over consuming food is not necessarily so correlated with having fun.
Okay.
Now, having a drink or two, I have an approach for this
Okay.
that I like to incorporate with my clients.
Okay.
What I'll have you do when you want to have a drink or two is make a plan for it
Okay.
to kind of account for at least two of those variables.
Okay.
The alcohol has calories, right?
Yeah.
So if we count on average that a drink is going to have, if you commit to having, either wine or if it was to be a hard alcohol, one that had a diet mixer with it, so there's no sugar. in
Yeah,
it.
like vodka and soda.
Exactly, where it doesn't have sugar
Yeah.
added to it. We can assume that a single drink won't have more than about 200 calories.
Okay.
Even if it was a light beer, like a Michelob Ultra or
Yeah.
something, it won't have more than 200 calories.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, I'm going to have 1 to 2 drinks, I would just go ahead and say you're going to have 2.
Yeah.
And you can remove those calories from your day to balance that part out.
Okay.
The other part is you have to promise that you're going to have an extra couple glasses of water before you go to bed so that we can help your body cope with the alcohol so that we can also mitigate the chance of missing the next day's workout.
So what does the next day's workout look like after you've consumed about 200, maybe 400 calories in alcohol?
Yeah,
Is that,
so 1 to 2 drinks. The workout's no different.
Okay.
What I want to get away from for you and for anyone else is the system of
Punishment?
punishment for activity. If we did on the front end, if we on the front end addressed it by managing calorie intake, so we subtracted a little bit of calories to deal with the fact that the alcohol has calories. We promised ourselves going into it, we said, hey, I am not eating anything I'm not supposed to eat, but I'm going to have these couple drinks because I planned it. If we do that, we drink the extra water and we don't miss the next day's workout, there's no need for punishment.
Okay, so I think in terms of the nutrition, I'm on track. You answered all my questions.
Okay.
I'm good.
So just to give you guys a little bit of summation, Melissa's plan to start with is 1,900 calories roughly, because you guys might want to know this. And again, this is very specific to her. When you complete the survey on AlphaShred, I will assign you to the appropriate calorie level and plan style for you. But for her, she's on a 1,900 calorie plan with 140 grams of protein, 75 grams of carbohydrate, and that includes vegetables. Some people, when they do keto, they get into counting net carbs where they only count impactful carbs, meaning from like a grain-based source or a sugar source, and they don't count their veggies. I count everything to keep it simple. I don't try and have you find ways around not counting certain carbs or counting others. 75 grams of total carbohydrate and 115 grams of fat. 1,900 calories total. And again, this is our starting point.
Okay.
Every journey has a starting point, and like we talked about with your training, it's where you are right now.
Okay.
Over the next 30 days, with each of our check-ins, I expect this to evolve.
Okay.
Meaning possibly decrease.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes, but we're going to put this plan into place and make adjustments as we go.
You mean decreasing food?
Decreasing food.
Oh, Christ
Possibly.
almighty.
Because look, if we do a check-in, you've nailed all the meals, you've nailed all the workouts, and the results aren't moving as fast as we want to, that doesn't mean the plan's not good. It means we need to make an adjustment. We need to create a larger deficit.
Okay.
Yes, and so nutrition's our way of doing that.
Okay, well, it's good to know. Yeah, thanks.
Let's get you ready to work out, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.